Hello, Homestead team. I'm Chaplain Robert Terrell, and this is your July 26, 2021 Monday Motivator. This past week, I was in a coffee shop, and I and a friend watched an argument take place. I don't normally do that. That's not a form of entertainment for me or anything. It actually makes me tense. I don't enjoy it. But my friend and I saw this argument developing between two people, and we noticed that as they began to argue, well, what was happening was they were arguing about two entirely different things. I actually looked at my friend at one point and said, "Are they arguing about the same thing?" And he said, "I don't think so." We saw it build up and get worse, and finally they both just left in a huff. It was fascinating because, well, the reality is so often I find myself doing the same thing, and not arguing with my wife, but getting the details wrong because I don't listen. I think one of the most loving things we can do for people, one of the best ways we can practice love the verb, is by listening to people. That's why it's one of the fundamentals of Home Instead, is that we listen to get the facts. But listening is so difficult. So often when we should be listening to someone else's story, well, we suddenly feel the desire to tell our own story, and it becomes about us rather than about the person we're listening to. Or we want to fix the problem, and so instead of listening to find out what's really going on, we jump into advice gear or trying to just make sure that everything's okay. I think the one that's the worst is so often we think we know what another person is thinking, rather than realizing that we need them to be the ones to tell us that. We need to listen to get the facts. My faith teaches me that everyone should be slow to speak, quick to listen, and slow to anger. It's really just great advice. When in doubt, stop and listen. Matter of fact, so often we hear of things like active listening, where it's this mindset of we're going to focus on the other person and ask questions to make sure that we understand what they are saying. Because listening is so hard that if we're not active about it, well, we can get bored or distracted, and it keeps us from listening. Listening to get the facts. One of the most loving things we can do for our clients, for their families, for our families. As caregivers, you are so good at this already, but I would encourage you to redouble your effort to listen well, to be more concerned about hearing someone else's story than about saying your own, to be more concerned about hearing their story than giving advice to try and fix things, to be more concerned about hearing their story than the desire for everything just to be okay. If you need someone to listen to you, you can call me anytime. I promise I'll listen to you. If you hear nothing else today, though, hear this. Our CEO, God, cares for you, and so do I. Have a great week, okay?